Welcome to my channel and my version of the Index Card a Day challenge that I've coordinated with my Create Daily series. I'm using Daisy Yellow's prompt from week 6, Blueprint.
So this is my quote journal. It is a repurposed happy planner. And just to recap, if you haven't been watching, what I've done, and you can find the videos in my playlist, I've put gesso on some with the gel plate, and I've done some gel printing on some of the backgrounds. And so I have some of these at the ready to go when I'm creating. I've done some stamping and I've done some stenciling on them. Some have leftover paint, some have leftover modeling paste, and I can grab this, whether I'm working on the Index Card a Day challenge in here, or whether I'm doing my quote journal and the quick fire quote journal. And the whole idea behind that series is that because you have things that are at the ready, you can get an art journal page done fairly quickly and stuff. So I'm really loving how this looks, and I promise you I will be doing a flip through very quickly or very shortly, but you can see how lovely that is. So this is the book that I write in. Daisy Yellow gives the prompts and I write them down, and I do some brainstorming on that and start thinking. And I'll put a link to the video where I talk about how I go from prompt to page, just to give you some ideas of ways to look at prompts that you may not have occurred to you before. So I write down there and I kind of do a brainstorm of what hits me, about the prompt. And sometimes it's not exactly a straight line. So in week 6, one of the prompts, number 40, day 40, was blueprint. So I'm thinking about that. One of the things that I do is go online and I see if I can get a quote. I'm very much about the quotes and the sentiments. And so I found this quote: "Our dreams are the blueprints to our destiny." And I printed it out, a couple different formattings and that kind of stuff. So I have my sentiment. And then I thought, blueprint, when you Google or do a search for blueprint, it's that color, the blue with the white lines. And so I kind of flipped through some of my pages, pulling the ones that are blue or, in some way, shape, or form, and I'm looking at that and I'm going, oh, none of this is exactly what I want. So I thought, okay, well, definitely I'm going to use my Prussian blue because it's kind of that ink blue that you see in the blueprints, that dark navy, or but you can use whatever dark navy your darkest navy is. And I was just going to make that, and I'm thinking, okay, what can I use? What stencils do I have that can make the lines for this?
So I did get out my gel plate and I did these 3 pages. This was what I was trying to recreate, and I wanted that look on these pages. And it really wasn't working. And in the end, with all the twists and turns this page took, you don't really see a whole lot of the detail from the background. So I just decided that I'm just going to throw it out. So I picked this quote: "Our dreams are the blueprint to our destinies." And I looked on my desk and I had just bought a star punch, and I had these magazine punched out stars. And I thought, I could put stars because your destiny is written in the stars. But I didn't want to use the colored stars. I wanted to stick to blue and my blueprint kind of theme. So I just grabbed a piece of copy paper and I'm brayering this on because my brayer was there and I've done a couple pages where I've been brayering the backgrounds. It really isn't absolutely necessary for what I'm doing, but it's one way. I mean, you could put the paint on with a makeup sponge, you could put a paint on with brushes, your fingers, or brayer, and each is going to give you a slightly different look. So you can play with that and see what you like. This does give an interesting texture and pattern to the stars that I end up using. I'm adding a little bit of purple to this just to get kind of that blueprint kind of effect that sometimes you get that tone on there. I Googled pictures of blueprints, but I didn't really want to lose the blue. So after this is completely dry, because you do not want to use your punch on paper that's damp, it will not punch. So I punched out the stars and I just start laying them around. At this point, I don't know which font, which sentiment I'm going to use, the larger one or the smaller. I don't even know what I'm going to be doing with these stars or how many I need. But as usual, I punch out this whole paper with these dark blue stars. And what I don't use on this page goes into a bin at the side of my work table, eventually gets filed away, and then I use it on some other page. Every once in a while, I'll pull things out and put them in my possibility pack, and then they're sitting there, and surprise, surprise, things kind of go together magically. So I'm liking the contrast of the dark blue of these stars with the background, but I'm very unsure about, okay, how I want to put the stars. So I spend an awful lot of time, both on camera and off, fiddling with this. Now I'm visual, so I can't quite see how these are going to look. And I think, okay, worst case scenario, I can print this off again. So I'm cutting it apart and just playing with it. I'm auditioning the placement of the stars. I'm auditioning the placement of the sentiment. I could have, as an option, used the sentiment as it was and kept it in that rectangle shape. So here I put, different words on each one, and I'm looking at this and I'm going, that's okay, but I'm thinking it may be just a little too busy, too chopped up. I was trying to get, your eye so it starts at the top and just flows down throughout the whole bottom. So I like that better, where I group it on 3 of the stars and keep 3 of the stars just the dark blue. Every once in a while I'll stop and I would take a picture with my camera, then I look and see what looks better. So now that I kind of have an idea of that, I grab my cobalt blue archival and I'm putting these stars on, and the stars are too light and too small. So they're really not adding. And I thought, okay, I want a little more contrast. So I grabbed my 5x7 gel plate and I just have it in this tin. And I use this gel plate mostly as a stamp pad. So I can put paint on it and then use my stamps on it. And I'm putting the white on. But the problem here is my background is too light. It has silver in it, and it's just too light, and you're not getting a whole lot of contrast. But I remind myself this is just a background. But I have that stamp, so I grab one of the stars and I stamp on it, and I'm liking that contrast. And it's at this moment that it was like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. Now this is coming together. So when a page seemingly fights you, just keep going, or stop, set it aside, and then come back. So I've arranged the stars, and now I even have more stars, but I have two different stars. I have stars with the stars, the white stars on them, and then the solid stars. And I've layered them on here. And I'm just gluing everything down with my gel medium. And you can see right now, very little of that background is showing. And I think part of that was because I wasn't thrilled with that background. Sometimes you have to give up the picture in your head of what you think a page is going to be and honor what is actually happening. And I think most of the times when we're unhappy with a page, it's because it doesn't match the picture in our head. What we may have created is actually beautiful and wonderful in its own right, but it's competing with that image in our head. And as I'm telling myself too, as I'm creating this, Karen, it's an ICAD. It doesn't have to be great art. Not everyone is going to be great art. Have fun, enjoy, experiment, learn. That's what it's all about. So once that's dry, I'm just cutting off all the excess. And I'm just seeing which way I'm going to do it. Now I'm deciding which sentiment do I want. Now I could put that big one right in the middle, and the boldness of the fonts that I've used would stand out, and the background, and that would have worked. But then I decide, okay, I'm going back to what I had originally decided using the smaller font, and I can put that there. Which one do you like better? Would you have used the bigger one, or would you have chosen the smaller one like me? There is no right answer. Sometimes I do one, sometimes I do another. But I did layer them up. I cut the sentiments and I put the little words, kind of attached them or layered them on top of the script words. And when I typed out this sentiment, I used the bolder script for the keywords. So it says dreams, blueprint, destiny, which basically tells the story. You don't even need to read the minor words. And there you get a close-up of it. And this is the benefit of buying digital sentiments as opposed to stamp ones. Well, although you can do it with stamp ones too, but you can go and cut these apart and arrange them however you want. Nothing is fixed in stone. You're only limited by your imagination. So I grabbed the white paint in my fine line bottle, and I'm going to outline all of these stars. Now, I was so tempted to grab gold, and gold I think would have looked amazing, but I wanted to keep this to the basic blueprint colors, and I didn't want to introduce another color to this. But if I was doing something similar, from this on a canvas or on another page, I may very likely grab gold. I love navy blue and gold together. So in the fine line bottle, I have just white, heavy-bodied acrylic paint that I've thinned down to the appropriate consistency. And that's just by trial and error. Do not add too much water. Start with the paint, add a little bit of water, and add water gradually. And I do not mix up the entire bottle. You do not use much over time, so there's no need to be doing that. I use my fine line bottles pretty much all the time, every day, and I've never made more than a quarter of the bottle. So thank you for sticking with me as this page fought me. I'm very happy with the end result. Thank you so much for watching. Check the links below. Bye for now.